Alright, thank you very much. Now, does anyone have any opposing views? Alright, let's start off with the other guy.
Okay, as you stated, a syllogism is contingent on two main premises, and in order for the syllogism's logical conclusion to follow, both of those syllogisms must be true. Now, as for the first premise, I have no counter-argument too. But your second premise states that the universe began to exist. Now, there's one major thing. Matter is not necessarily stated to have began existing at any point. And also, as you noted with the Big Bang, time, energy, heat, and light all began to exist. Now, while we can say that, yes, all these things did begin, there was already matter or something there to have produced it. What is the cause of that base object? We don't know. And so we can't necessarily say that nothing caused the universe. There was mass there and available. Furthermore, and you stated the second law of thermodynamics, which is that everything returns to entropy, that there's a constant increase in chaos. And you said that that the universe had to have started, or else we'd be in a constant flux of energy at this point. But that's not necessarily true, because since time began at a certain point, we don't know how long that we've been in this universe. So we don't know how long it's been since we began turning to entropy. So we can't say that we should be in a chaotic influx right now, since we don't even know the rate at which we should be turning into chaos at some point.
For time's sake, I would ask you guys not to clap. I don't care how good his speech was. No one clapping afterwards. And to show formality, I'll do the next speech. Basically, after one person speaks, I would like people to raise their hand. And I'll pick on you. Suppose I'm raising my hand, I pick on myself, and then I start to speak. Actually, I'll speak right now. So. You guys know a lot about science, and that's cool, but I'm going to talk about stuff that I've personally been through. I honestly don't have a certain base of the existence of God. So just to, I guess, defrabulate or whatever the science stuff he's talking about, let's talk about his first premise. Anything that begins to exist has a cause. Well, what I want to talk about is the dumbest stuff humans do. We have no cause, we have no rationality, and we were not made because of a God, but actually it's just a bunch of irrational crap that happened. Do you know how different we are from monkeys? Like 6 or 7 chromosomes. I'm not too sure, I'm not that much of a sciencey guy, but just like our chromosomes, they have a crossing over point where we change our it's a genetic mutation that happens, and we just become so much more smarter than we think we are than monkeys. But the thing is, we only have like 20 different chromosomal differences than actual banana. And you guys think you guys are geniuses, right? Well, the thing is, we only understand so much about the world. There have been proven 7 dimensions in this world. Like, we only see 3 dimensions. You guys have those fake 4D dimension TVs, but those are not really 4th dimensional. We think we're really seeing 4 dimensions, but tell me what's behind me right now. You guys wouldn't be able to see because you guys only see 3-dimensionally. So basically what I'm trying to say is, we are too stupid as humans to understand any other concept past the 3rd dimension. So all the science crap and bogus you guys have been talking about, that's what you guys have read in scientific notebooks. But if I ask you, what's the 5th dimension? No one would know. The state of consciousness in itself that has been stated as a God, who knows as a consciousness as an existence? For all I know, we all dress up. Do you know how irrational it is for humans to dress up? I think we should all walk around nude. But you guys laugh at it because you guys think it's irrational. Like, why would we even do that? But you see, there was a cause for that, right? Why the cause? Irrationality. So I think our existence is irrational in itself. We don't know why we were made, and we don't know who made us. We were just made. And it sounds weird to you, but I think it's even weirder to say that we have a cause with only knowing 3 dimensions. As humans, we do not understand crap. We're just 7 chromosomes away from a monkey and about 20 from a banana. So who says we even exist in general? This could be your brain in a brain cell. I don't know. But that's my basic premise, and I'll be talking and speaking later. But does anyone else want to speak? Aram.
Okay. I only got one thing to say because I got to leave in a minute. But going off what our guest said, he had a theory that stated that our energy source is kind of like a candle, right? How it's constantly, going down. Well, to burn that candle would require energy. And the general conservation of energy theory does state that energy is neither created nor destroyed. So that would have to say that we did not create energy and we are not destroying it. So did energy just exist? Is energy just there? And are we constantly recycling it? And if not, my question is, what do we call that energy?
Ready to come back to that? Yeah, sure. Okay, so understanding the first gentleman that brought up the fact that matter has always been there, that was just a flat-out assertion, right? And then his question over here, he's referring to what is known as the first law of thermodynamics, which is very important. It says matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but there is something that has to be in place for these laws of thermodynamics to even operate. And what it is at the very origin of the universe, then we have these set values that are in place. Without the universe, there are no laws of thermodynamics to even operate on. So the universe did come into existence, and then once it was in existence, as far as we've ever observed, matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed, and all usable energy is actually going down towards a heat death, or entropy. This is really important for you guys to grasp. It's something like this. Let me give another analogy. The first law of thermodynamics is like this. It's like saying I have 10 gallons of gas in my fuel tank for my car. 10 gallons, that's it, a set amount. I can't have any more. I can't, that's it. It's just a set amount. Matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Set amount. Now the second law is like burning. It's like the car that's been running. It's running off of that 10 gallons of gas, that set amount. Now if I walked up to one of you guys, I said, you see that car over there? On 10 gallons of gas, it has been running forever. You go, that's ridiculous. It would have had to have ran out sometime in the past. And that's exactly the situation. Since the universe has not always existed, it's only existed a certain amount of time, a finite amount of time. It has not run out. But like I said, the astrophysicists and the cosmologists, they realize this daunting future that we have before us, that the universe is running out of this usable energy. So the first law of thermodynamics, you have a finite amount of matter and energy. All right. The second law of thermodynamics, we are running off of that finite amount of matter and energy. It's kind of like a fuse that's been lit. It's going to run out. At the beginning of the universe, it was lit. To suggest that this stuff has just always been there and always been burning literally goes against the second law of thermodynamics. So they have to work out this contradiction. Makes no sense if the universe has always existed. Makes perfect sense if the universe came into existence.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Let's see, Haitham.
All right, based off what Sean said, the difference between us and a banana, I don't care how many numbers of chromosomes, even if it's only one. We're walking around and we're talking. Bananas don't do that. We eat bananas. It's like none of you guys can prove there is a God or there is no God. I believe in God. It's just like faith. When you go to sleep, do you know if you're going to wake up? You don't. You really don't. You have no control over that. You think you're healthy, but I know a lot of people who just died in their sleep like that. God is one of those. You have to believe in Him. You have to believe in the hereafter. And like you said, there is a cost for everything. If I drop my pen and I meet my wife, there's a cost for that. It's faith. I believe in that. So, evolution. 100 years ago, we didn't know how to use a cell phone. We didn't even know there was a such thing as a cell phone. With time comes knowledge and stuff. So maybe in another 2,000 years, we might get to the 10th dimension. That's all I have to say.
Hey, no coffee, no coffee. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, but at the same time, you're talking about like evolution and stuff and the existence of God. It also has to do with how literally you take the Bible. Like you take the Bible 7 days, Adam and Eve. When in actuality, it is genetically impossible for us to come from two people because we all be giant, deformed genetic blobs by now because you cannot come from two people without there being complications. So with that being said, pretty much everything in the Bible can be like scientifically explained, like everything. They've explained why the Nile turned red. They explain like a lot of it, and you can explain till your head turns blue. It doesn't really matter. You just have to have the faith, because think about it. Like I believe in God, but I don't believe in Him because it's so true, it's so right. I believe Him because why not? You know what I mean? Like if I'm wrong and there is no God, I die and I'm nothingness. If I believe in God and I'm right, hey, I went to heaven. There's nothing for you to lose if you're a moderate believer in God.
Okay, I want to address something that our speaker said. He said, well, we have two options when it comes to what causes the universe to exist. That's not really very accurate because, yeah, symbols and numbers don't really explain much, but when you look at God, well, if God is a spirit, that's something. If everything that exists has a cause, what caused that spirit, which we now call God, to exist?
and what caused that to exist, and what caused that to exist. And you can constantly just keep splitting it off into what caused it to exist, and you will never reach an answer. So how can you say, well, there's a God and he's existed for all time? Well, that also violates his own logic. You can't just pull something out of thin air and something can't exist forever. Also, you were talking about how it's like gas. Well, not really. It's more like money. If the United States decided we're going to stop printing all money forever, we have a set amount, this is how much we have. If I were to take my wallet out and give $1 to Mariah, well, sure, now I have technically less money or energy, but now she has more, so there is no net energy gain or loss. There's simply a transfer.
That doesn't make sense.
And as that energy is transferred into one thing, that's what causes enthalpy or chaos to go up. But at the same time, it also causes enthalpy to go down in a similar object.